Hello and welcome to today's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where we've got a debut on the channel today for Nicolas Duhail and a puzzle called Regions, but the I and the O of Regions are spelt like the number 10. And this is a 2-star rated puzzle, and apparently it is lovely. We've had several recommendations to try this, and the basic idea is that, and don't worry if you don't know about what I'm just no, don't worry if what I'm about to say sounds like gibberish, and there may be more gibberish to come. The idea is that these blue lines are both region sum lines and 10 lines, so that's the basic idea, and as I say, I will explain that properly in a moment or two's time, but for those of you who like to dive straight into the puzzle, that is what's going on today. And anyway, we'll read the rules together in a moment or two's time. And I don't have much news for you today. I have had a couple of requests to do something I've never done before on the channel. Gosh, the next sentence could encompass any number of things, but it is in fact not to read poetry, or not specifically poetry, but to read a bit of Shakespeare to you, no less. So Caliban's soliloquy from The Tempest. So I will do that. I don't think I'll be able to do it justice. I mean, I do love Shakespeare, but I wouldn't call myself a scholar or anything. I'll do my best. It's only short to read it for you properly. But anyway, that's one thing I will do before we start solving. The other thing is just an appeal. If you do enjoy the channel, please do consider subscribing. The statistics that we get on our videos when we look at YouTube analytics tell us that many people watch these videos who are not subscribed compared to subscribed. So if you do enjoy them, please do consider subscribing. It is of course totally and utterly free to subscribe to YouTube channels. The only point of subscribing is that it teaches the algorithm that people really enjoy these wonderful puzzles that we get to try every day. So anything you can do to help us to spread the word, we'd be most grateful for. And in our quest to be the puzzling equivalent of Mr. Beast et al., we would really be grateful. Now, okay, let's get on. I'll do some. Let me try and do justice to this. So, I think many of you will know this soliloquy, but here it is. Be not afeard. The isle is full of noises, sounds and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears, and sometimes voices that, if I then had waked after long sleep, will make me sleep again, and then, in dreaming, the clouds methought would open and show riches ready to drop upon me, that when I waked I cried to dream again. I mean, actually, it's stunning language, isn't it? I wish I could do it justice, but anyway, there. For John and for Ginny, that is for you. Anyway, let's get on with some Sudoku solving. That's enough mumbo jumbo from me, or me mangling great works of literature. Let's have a look at Regions by Nicolas Duhail. The rules are as follows. We have got normal Sudoku rules apply, so we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Each blue line is both a region sum line and a 10 line. Now, for a region sum line, box borders divide each blue line into segments with the same sum. So let's look at this line. What that means is that when the line crosses the 3x3 box borders, it creates segments. So I'll draw the segments in the various colours, or in colours I shall choose. Now, each of these colours, you sum the digits in each colour and we should get the same total. So imagine this was 9. Those 2 digits would sum to 9. These 3 digits would sum to 9. Those 3 digits would sum to 9, etc. So that is how the region sum line idea works, but these lines are also 10 lines. So the line consists of one or more contiguous groups of cells, each of which sums to 10, and the groups cannot overlap. So we should be able to divide this line. I don't really know how to show you this. So maybe there, there, and I may be drawing this in a way that makes the lines impossible, but let's say it did divide like that. Those two would sum to 10, those two would sum to 10, those three would sum to 10, and those three would sum to 10. But that needs to be possible for each of the lines, and they are all of the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, I mean, actually, when I was doing the example there, I noticed one thing, which was that this line here, you can see there's a 1-cell segment here and a 3-cell segment. Now, each of these has to sum to the same total. Now, even if I populate this 3-cell segment with the smallest digits I can, 1, 2, and 3, this digit is still at least equal to 6 then, isn't it? 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. So that is also a 6 or higher. These two digits are the same number. Now, well, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, we can do this, I think. Sorry, I've been a bit obtuse here, but I think it's straightforward, isn't it? So what I'm thinking now is that this line, which, don't forget, we have to be able to divide this line into non-overlapping segments, each of which sums to 10. So the digits on this line altogether sum to a multiple of 10. Now, the line goes through 5 boxes. 1, 2, so 1, that's the second box, that's the third box, that's the fourth box, that's the 5th box. So imagine this was a 9 in this square. We then know that the line overall sums to 45, and if we try and split it into groups that add up to 10, we will fail. So I think this has to be 6 or 8 is what we're actually being told, because 6 times 5 is 30 and 8 times 5 is 40. Now, okay, if this was 8, wouldn't that have to be a 2? I think it would, but because we have to split the line into segments that sum to 10. So if this was an 8 and this was a 1, then we'd need another 1 to follow the 8. 8, 1, 1 would be how we would have to create a 10 segment. But I think if that's 6, it's a lot less clear. Because if that's 6, then that could just be a 4, couldn't it? Oh, hang on. Yeah, I was just thinking these would have to sum to 6 as well. But that could go 6, 4, 2. Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like there might be something we can do there. How about that little line then? That little line must sum to 10. That must be a 5. It's so weird that I meant to start with the little line. That must be a 5. Because this line goes into 2 boxes. So a little tip for a 10 line is the following. Any sum of Sudoku digits that sums to 10 must be at least 2 cells long. I mean, it's such a fatuous thing to say, but obviously it's true. So you can't, although you could put 20's worth of digits on this line, you couldn't then split it into 2 groups that add up to 10, because each segment individually would need to have 2 cells. So this must only sum to 10, it goes through 2 boxes, so each individual segment must sum to 5. So this is a 5, and these 2 cells add up to 5, so that the whole line is sort of a 10 line in and of itself. Oh, I wondered if that was going to get me purple in here, but no, it doesn't. We can't place purple is in one of those 3. Okay, let's try another line. Oh, sorry, I'm going to cough. I'm still suffering a bit. Right, let's have a look at this line. Right, how many boxes does it go through? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, now hang on. Hang on. Those 2 segments are 1 cell segments, aren't they? But this time we haven't got a 3 cell segment on this line. We've got a 2 cell segment there and a 2 cell segment there. But 1, 2, 3, 4. It goes through 4 boxes. So the digits on the line, which have to sum overall to a number that's divisible by 10 and divisible by 4. So we're looking at 20 or 40, aren't we? I don't think you can make this line add up to 60. I mean, can you make it add up to 40? Well, no. No, you really can't. You really can't, because the maximum size of green is 9. 9 times 4 is 36. That's not 40. Right, so this line sums up to 20, and therefore it goes through 4 boxes, so each box must have 5. So those 2 are 5s. Oh gosh, I thought I was going to get a clash there, but I don't. Oh, I'm going to make that green now. Oh, this is very clever, this puzzle. It's really, really unusual. Right, so now these digits have all got to be 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s. Because obviously those 2, yeah, and then the line is going to split up as follows. You're going to have a 10 segment there and a 10 segment there. That makes sense, doesn't it? All right, let's try this line. So this line goes through 3 boxes, and well, I want to say therefore it's got to be a 30 line. What else could it be? 10, 20, I mean, it's got to be a 30 or a 60. There's no way this can add up to 60, is there? 24 there, plus 34. No, that's not enough. 34, by the way, I'm getting 34 because I'm thinking of an 8-9 pair there and an 8-9 pair there. Obviously that's 17 plus 17 is 34. So 58 is not 60. So this line adds up to 30, and each box adds up to 10. Okay, so that's a 10 sum. This is a 10 sum. Ooh, is it? Yeah, yes. Ah, haha, right. I know where the 5 goes in box 4. Right. This segment we've just worked out sums to 10. These sum to 5. Now I know something about the minimum sum of 5 different Sudoku digits. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 equals 15. And that's what this must be, because we've got 5 there and 10 there. So this has to include a 5, because these don't include a 5. So that is 5, which is therefore green. That's nothing. These are 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s. And I tell you something I'm thinking here, which might not be the correct thing to think, but it is what I'm thinking. This bottom line has got to do it has got to do a Herculean, an Atlas amount of lifting for this to have a unique solution from here. I mean, that segment adds to 10, that segment adds up to 10. But that could be 1, 9, 2, 8, 3, 7, 4, 6. Maybe I could do more with this purple line. I don't know, let's have, okay, the bottom line, this great big line, it goes through 3 boxes. So again, we're looking at things like 30s and 60s. Well, it's not 90. I say it's not 90. Actually, Maybe it could be 90. No, surely not. Oh no, maybe it could. Ooh. I was going to say, yeah. If that's 60, sorry, 60. If that was 6, 7, 8, 9, which it couldn't be actually, because you couldn't split that into 10 segments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the maximum sum of those squares, if we make those the highest 6 different Sudoku digits, they would add up to 39. 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 is 39. And then you could have another 30 there, I suppose. That's 69. And then another 24 there. That's plenty more. It's plenty enough, isn't it? I mean, I suspect there might be sort of a technical issue with doing that in terms of not having enough low digits on the line to make 10 sums work. All right, well, let's approach it a different way then. Let's approach it a different... okay, I can see... Yes, I see. So if the sum of this line was 90, it goes through 3 different boxes, so each box's proportion of that 90 would be 30, and this cannot be 30, because it would have to be 6, 7, 8, 9, and you can't split it into 10 sums, so that's fine. So 90 is not the number. Is 30 the number? No. If it's 30, each box's segment adds up to 10, and yeah, this is not going to work. That's a 5-cell segment, and so the minimum sum of this segment would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, adding to 15. So in fact, this line adds to 60, and each portion is 20 in each box. So these add up to 20. So that's going to be 2 lots of 10, isn't it? Obviously. Right. So in fact, what we've just learnt is, let me go back to my, that is a segment that adds to 10. So this one, then this is going to be a segment that adds to 10, because each 10 sum is going to require at least 2 cells. And given we know they sum to 20, that must be split into 2 segments. So we have to actually split it in the middle. The same is going to be true there. That's got to be split into 2 segments. But then this one is well, it is going to be split into 2 segments, but we don't know where the split will be. The split will either be such that those 2 add up to 10, or that these 3 add up to 10. But hang on, okay, sorry, and I keep questioning myself here, but how then are we going to actually take that forward? Oh, I see, I've done it. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, what a lovely idea. Right, box 8 is the whole key to this puzzle, because I can combine the logic around this 6 or 8 here with the fact that I know that this bottom segment here adds to 20. Now, if those 3 digits there added up to 6, what would be the sum of all the oranges and the yellows? It would be 26, wouldn't it? That cannot work because of a secret. Now, this is a secret I only share with my very favourite people, but if you're watching this video, of course you're one of my favourite people. The secret is that a complete box of Sudoku, i.e. all of these different colours, adds to 45, because it's the digits 1 to 9 once each, and that's what you get if you add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9. You get 45. So, if we make purple 6, we know that yellow plus orange is 26, so these 2 digits here would have to sum to 19 to make the box add up, and even if these were 9 and 8, they would only add to 17, so that cannot work. So this line, those are both 8s. And now we're on, yeah, and now this is an 8-9 pair. Because we're on 28 for the orange and the yellow. So we need an extra 17 to get us up to 45, which is an 8-9 pair here. And in fact, look, we know the order. That's 8, that's 9. Let's make that purple so that we remember it. Purple is in one of those two squares by Sudoku. This is beautiful. Right. Now, do you remember we worked out yellow summed to 20 and consists of a domino in each case that adds up to 10? That domino adds up to 10. That domino adds up to 10. Well, the way these dominoes work is they aren't using 5, are they? Because if that's 5, that would have to be a 5 as well. So 5 is on this 3-cell sum here, adding up to 8. So that's a 1, 2, 5 triple. And that is not a 5. Whoops. So these squares are 3, 7 and 4, 6 in some order. These digits are 1, 3, 4 actually. They've got to be 1, 3, 4 because they can't involve 5, yet they have to add up to 8. And there's only 2 ways of making 8 in 3 different Sudoku digits. 1, 2, 5, ruled out, and 1, 3, 4. So this is 1, 3, 4. I've now got a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple in row 4. So all the high digits have to live in those positions. These, oh, hang on, oh, I've got it. Oh, it's beautiful again. Right, now, this purple line, don't forget, it's got to be a 10 line as well. So this can't be a 1, because it'll go 8, 1, broken. That's got to be a 2. Same as that, that's got to be a 2. There's simply no other way that the line will work. So this has got to be a 6, because that segment adds up to 8. Yeah. Okay, so I see how this works now. So you've got a segment here, 8, 2. Then we've got 2 digits here that add up to 6. And we've got a segment here which is 8, 2. And then we've got a 6 here. So this 1, 3 and 4, there's going to be a 4 either here or here, adding up with the 6 there, or the 1 and the 5, which obviously add up to 6 as well, to make 10. And then the 1 and the 3 here are going to go together with the other 6 to make the other 10 sum. So that digit is not a 4. The 4 is either there or there. This is very, very clever setting. It really is lovely, this. Now, and the only problem now is we're getting to the point where we've almost used up all our lines. Those add up to 5, don't they? So when I get rid of 2 from here, I can get rid of... Oh, hang on, what have I done there? When I get rid of 2 from here, I can get rid of 3 from here. Oh dear, am I going to get stuck now? I might be. I might be about to get stuck. Where is 5 in box 2? One of those 2 cells. Where is 5 in box 7? It's not here, because this is a domino that sums to 10. So 5 in row 9 is in one of those 3 squares, not there, so it's in one of these 2 squares. Unfortunately, 5 could go on this segment. If that's a 5, that would be those 2 digits that would have to add up to 5, and then these 2 would be a sort of an offset domino that adds up to 10. Okay. This line adds up to 10 as well, doesn't it? So that can't have 5 here, because then this would be a 5. So we get a 5 into this position. That gives me a 5 here and a 1 here. That's not 1, so that's not 4. That's not 1, so that's not 4. That 5 there should become purple, really. Sorry, purple? Green. So that, okay, that's a green 5 now, we've just found. We've almost done all our green 5s. We've got sort of a pair here and a pair here to think about. Right, look at this domino. Now that domino sums to 10. Could it be 3-7? No, because that's going to prevent there being a 3-7 here. Could it be 4-6? No, that's going to prevent there being a 4-6 domino here. So this is either 2-8, which would have to be very precisely in that order, or it's 1-9 in either order. Bobbins, I don't know how to do that. Okay, sorry, I don't think that's worked. Right, so where do we look next then? This adds up to 10. That doesn't look very interesting. Golly gosh, I don't know. We could... I'm trying to see... I really am trying to see something. I know I'm failing, but... can I do something with this? It adds up to 20. It's split into a 2-segment and a 3-segment. I don't see how to do that. I really don't. Okay. So I rather suspect I'm going to have to do something more exotic. What could that be? Have we got... Okay, I probably haven't thought through carefully enough how to make these 10 sums work. So, how are we going to do that? If there's a 10 sum here and a 10 sum there. Right. So there's a little point I'm seeing there, which is that effectively this box 7, is split into 4 different 10 sums. You've got a 10 sum there, a 10 sum there, a 10 sum there, and therefore a 10 sum there. So this funny old 10 sum that we've just found that's sort of offset is not 2-8. So okay, that does it. So there has to be a 2-8 in box 7. Where is it? It's not here, because this can't be 2 or 8. It's not here, because this cell can't be 2 or... It's not here, sorry, because this cell can't be 2 or 8. It's not there, because this can't be 2 or 8. So it is here. This is an 8-2 pair. So that becomes purple. I'm tempted to say we might need to have a colour for our 2s as well. Should we do that? Why not? What colour should we have? Let's have red. Oh no, I don't like that. That doesn't look right, does it? Let's actually, maybe we'll get rid of yellow, and then we could have yellow for our 2 colour. Now, so 8 is in one of those squares by Sudoku. 8 is in one of those 3. So, so is 2 actually. That's interesting. Yeah, there you go. This is another lovely choice that the setter's made. So, here is the question. Can you put 8 on the blue line in this box? Now, if you do, how are you going to make it add up to 10? You're going to have to put it with a 2, but the 2 is not in the right place. If this is 8, that needs to be a 2. If that's an 8, one of those needs to be a 2. So the 8 has to be off the line, and now the 2 is on the line, but not with an 8. So now we know that this is the 3-cell segment. It must be. Because if it was a 2-cell segment, it would need the 8 with it. So well, let's divide the line now. It divides there. Yellow is the colour of 2, isn't it? So 2 is in one of these squares, which might be important. That's not a 2 either. Let's try and keep track of all of this stuff. Oh, this is gorgeous as well. Look at row 4 again. Do you remember we found that 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple? Well, it's still there, so that definitely is not a 2. This is 2. So this is not a 2. So that is not a 3, because those 2 had to add up to 10. So, oh no. Oh no, that's fair. Oh no, it's not fair. No. Or is it? Oh, okay. What I'm thinking about here, look at this box. Where's the 2 in this box? It's in that domino, isn't it? So that isn't a 2. So that isn't a 3. Now I've got a 2-4 pair in column 5. So that's not a 4, which means this isn't a 6. And if 2 is in one of those two positions, 3 is in one of those positions in box 4, because we know that the 2 and the 3 are going together on a line to add up to 5. Now, can we go any further with this? I'm not sure. Yeah, we can. We can. Let's look at box 7 again. One of the pairs in this box is a 1-9 pair. Well, it's not that one, because 1 and 9 look at this cell, and it's not this one, because 1 and 9 look at this cell. So that is a 1-9 pair. And that might be helpful. Or not. So these ones are all 3s, 4s, 6s and 7s. So if this is 1-4, this is 3-7, and if this is 2-3, this is 4-6. So there's sort of a virtual 3-4 pair between those cells, because you're always going to use 3 and 4 in those 4 cells. I don't think that's doing anything, but it's just something I noticed as we were perusing that part of the grid. So that's... Oh, I see. Yeah, by Sudoku, this digit is 3, 4, 6 or 7, and it's in a domino with that one, isn't it, to add up to 10. So this is a 3, 4... Well, okay, that's not 6, so that's not 4. And these two digits here, they're adding up to 8. Now, can we do something with that? 5-3 looks quite interesting, doesn't it? It's either 5-3, which would have to be that way, or it's 1-7, because it can't be 2-6. So 1-7 would be the other alternative. Now, can we argue about that at all? If this is 1-7, oh no, I see. No, it's beautiful. Yeah, something was nagging at me as I was going through those options. My brain was sort of saying, "Hang on, that's doing something." I think it is. Okay, so let's look at these two cells very specifically. If these are 3 and 5, which is one of their options, this is a 4-6 pair because it can't be 3-7. And if this is 1-7, this is still a 4-6 pair because it still can't be 3-7. So this is always 4 and 6. So that's 4, that's 6. That's not 6, that's not 6, that's not 6. So this isn't 4, this isn't 4, and that isn't 4. Now, my Sudoku 6 is in this domino. I don't think that's done it, has it? Oh dear. No, okay. Maybe we've still got another little bit of discovery to do. How should we think about this then? 2s? 2 is very restricted in box 5. It's not in those 5 cells straightforwardly, but there's a 2-4 pair here, so it's not in this cell. So now it's got to be in that domino. Oh no, I think if I'd thought about it, I'd already have known that. I just didn't see it. That's quite that way. Okay. So we're gonna have to come up with something better. Actually, that's all very well, but oh, we could purplify this one, couldn't we? Is that going to help us? Nearly. Oh yes, it is. Where's purple? In box 6. It's in one of those 2 squares. And that means purple can't be here, look. So that's become a good old-fashioned purple. Now, is that useful? These squares are now 6, 7, 9. Oh, nearly! It was nearly useful, because that can't be 6. So this is 7 or 9. A 6 is more restricted than I realise. I've got 2 in the grid. So 6 is in one of those 2 cells. I'm suddenly having to resort to doing nasty old Sudoku. No, I love Sudoku really. It's just such a fair-weathered friend. Often it doesn't help me when I think it should. Okay. Have I neglected any possible 10 lie? Oh, there's this one, isn't there? Okay, well that's clearly not 2, 8. So I think it's either 1, 9, 3, 7 or 4, 6. And that doesn't feel like it's going to do me much good, to be honest. No, I think 2's got 3 possible positions in box 2. These squares are 6, 7 and 9 as well. In this box there's a sort of 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple, isn't there, floating around in there. So can we do something clever with that? I'm not sure. Or if these were... What's the option here? 3 here. That would put 7 in one of these. Or this is a 1, 7 pair. I don't know. Oh, okay, I mean, it's not important, I don't think, but 6 is definitely in one of those 2 cells in box 8. So 6 is definitely in one of those 2 cells in box 7, which means 4 is in one of these 2 cells. 4 is in one of those 2 cells. Ah, yeah, there you go. That's it. That, okay, it's not, no, it is Sudoku. Although it's quite complicated. So 4 in this box is in one of those 2 cells, which means 4 can't be here. So this cell has been reduced now to 3 or 7, which must pair up. And that means this is a 6-4 pair. So that's 6, that's 4. Now, is that going to do anything? Yes. Now this isn't 6, so this is the 6 in box 4. So this is 7, 9. That's not 7. So that's not 3. Now we've got to be so careful here to make sure we don't miss lovely possible deductions that we can use. How should we do this? It must be this 6, 4 pair, mustn't it? Where's 4 in this box? Well, it's not here. It's not there because there's a 2, 4 pair in the column. So 4 is in one of those 2 cells. And that means it's not there. Which means this is not a 1. So I've got another of these 2, 4 things. I've got loads of these dotted around. But 3, 7 is looking at this square. There we go. So that's 1, that's 4. Now this is 2, so that's 4. Now does that do anything? Please, please, please. 2 is yellow. Let's make that clear. Yeah, that's a 3, isn't it? By maths now. So this is a 1 or a 4. Oh, that doesn't help me. No, you rotten thing. That's a 3 by Sudoku. So in this column, we haven't put 7 and 9 in. Now I've got a 7, 9 pair in row 6 out of nowhere. These 2 squares are a 1, 6 pair. So that places 6, look, in box 2. It's become very Sudoku-y. That's a 2. So we can yellowify that. And in this column, what have we not put in? Is it 7? I think that's got to be a 7. And now that should be a something, a 9. Right. Now does that do anything? 2 goes up in one of those squares. Yeah, we've just got to figure out how that's affected everything down here. There's a 1, 3 pair in row 5, so this is 6. This is 1. This isn't 1 anymore. This isn't 1 anymore, so that isn't 4 anymore. And that's probably very useful. 6 is not here, so 6 is there, using our old friend Sudoku. These digits are from 7, 8, 9. One of them is an 8, but I don't know if we can do better than that. Okay, but I'm feeling more confident now. I feel like we just made a little bit of progress there for a moment or two. And all we've got to do now is to somehow figure this out. So, how are we going to do that? Where do we look next? 6, look, is in one of those 2 cells. It probably is Sudoku, isn't it? Probably is. Have we got any lines that we could use? I still have got to think about this one, perhaps. Okay, let's just pencil mark this in case we can do something with it. In fact, I can see we can. You can't put 7 in either of those squares. So not only is this not 3, 7, it's also, sorry, 2, 8, it's not 3, 7. So it is either 1, 9, which would have to be that way round, or it's 4, 6, which would have to be this way round. And there is a 6, look, I didn't spot that. There we go, so this is 1, 9. That's beautiful. So that's 9, that's 1. This is 3. So that's a 1, so that's a 4, that's a 3, and now we know that that's a segment, look. And then there's a 1, 3, 5, 1 segment on that line there. But we can go further, that's now 2, that's 1, that's 4. So this has got to be 3, 7 down here. We probably know the order, actually. I can't see the order, but let's keep going. That's going to be a 6. That's going to be a 4. This column hasn't got a 7 in it, so we better put that in. This column hasn't got 3 or 4 in it. Yeah, that's massive. 4, 3, 2 in the corner. That's now 6, isn't it? Yeah, and that's 8. Now, 8 is in this position, so that's 8 as well. This isn't 1. Now, what does that mean? So this isn't 7 is the upshot of that, because these two had to add up to 8, didn't they? So I've got a 3, 7 pair in the row, and that's a 9. Okay. And now, what about column 7? Is that where we have to look? It might be. 1, 4, and 7. A snooker maximum, and that's a 1, because there's a 4, 7 in the row. So that's a 7, that's a 4, that's a 7, that's a 7, that's a 3, that's a 3. 7 here means this has got to be 3, 5. So 5 goes in the corner up there. I think we're there, aren't we? This is a brilliant, brilliant puzzle. 7, 7, 7, 7, something. What is it? 3. Oh, 3. No, I wondered if I was going to... I'll get a 1 in the corner. There we go. Okay, I've made a bit of a Horlicks of my colouring, so forgive me for that. Those are all that colour. These are all yellow. That one loses its colour, if not its religion. 1 and 9, we'll get rid of that orange there. That's not really adding anything, is it, to the sum of knowledge in the world? And we'll make all of those green, and we'll get rid of that one, and we'll get rid of that one. And that might be the solution to this puzzle. Yay! Congratulations. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Nicholas, that was really clever. Really lovely, actually. It's a simple idea, which is that you've got to use sort of multiples of 10 as well as, you know, the correct dividers for the lines. But the way it worked was really, it's been really well put together, that. Very good puzzle indeed. Loved it. Let me know in the comments how you got on with it. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.